Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders. Matt and Dan here. And it turns out we were wandering around the desert and found a crazy old hermit. We are joined today by John. Hey, John.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Long time. Yes, former Outrider John is with us today. I'm sorry, Dan. I totally stepped all over you.
I was going to say welcome back, man. It's
Thanks,
been a while.
bud. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it has been a little bit. But I like the idea that we can, pull you back into our orbit every so often when the Legion fever gets a grip on you.
I mean, first of all, you're not that big, Matt. Your gravitational orbit has not pulled me in, so give yourself a little bit more credit than that.
Well, it's my ego mostly.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah. And then between me and Dan, we'll work on it. But really good to have you on the show. We're going to be chatting a little bit about you've been doing a lot of paint projects.
Yeah, so that has not changed at all. I mean,
Yeah, obviously not. So because Painter John is still Painter John. But how you doing, Dan?
I'm doing great. Actually,
Fantastic.
I've been a crazy week at work, but I'm glad it's over and back in.
Yeah, you
in the
did
list
have a
building,
crazy
back
week at work.
Yeah, back in the list building, back into working on the table, back into all sorts of hobby projects. But yeah,
The unending
Oh, yes.
Star Tours. Have you seen his Star Tours recently?
The board?
The new stuff he's been adding to it?
No, but I heard you guys talking about it yesterday or
Yeah.
on the last podcast.
I can't believe you actually listened. That's got to be so weird.
No, I mean, honestly, I feel like the proud parent who has, seen their children fly, go off to college and doing great things. And I'm like, I listen, I'm like, man, they're good. They're doing a great job.
You big guy, you. And I'm way older than you, so anyways. So much older.
he's not just the president; he's a member.
Yeah. The awesome beard club for men.
Yes.
Dan, we got to work on your beard a little bit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I got the chin pubes.
No,
going.
you do. All right, there it is.
It's good enough
All
for
right.
Steph Curry. It's good enough for him. Okay.
But no, very happy to have John on here, and I would love to make this a regular thing. But at least semi-regular. You know, when you decide to paint like a new cape scheme for Lando.
I'm only a short phone call away. So
Oh, that's true.
I haven't gone anywhere.
But yeah, we're going to be playing some board games later, so John was going to come over for that, and I was like, hey, why don't you pop on? So I'm also really jealous because you showed up with a mall.
I did.
In your pack, and I was like, ooh, a mall.
Which, apparently is like a hot commodity.
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't think it even survived like the first week it released.
No, I don't
right?
think our local game store, Power 9, I
No.
don't think they actually received a single one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, is that what you think?
Yeah, if I remember, I'll have to talk to the.
Maybe they got a handful, but definitely not enough to cover all the requests for them that came in.
Yeah,
And-
well, we have the next casual event next weekend, so I'll have to pop
Yep.
in and see
Yep.
what's going on with them. But yeah,
Hopefully we'll have a reprint there. But you also painted up a very beautiful droid tank for me.
Oh, yeah, man. So, honestly, that was one of the things that had been kind of sitting there on my side projects to work on.
Because you heard I'm playing Republic now, right?
Well, of course.
No.
I needed to wait
No,
until
I'm
it was
gonna absolutely
completely worthless.
I am taking the tank next weekend. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got the T-Series droid. I'm going to build that up real quick. Maybe I'll paint that one. I don't know. We're starting a little local paint challenge with our group of Facebook friends here in the local area to do one character model a week. And I was like, hey, that's the deadline push I need to actually start putting paint on things.
There you go. Nothing like peer pressure to get you back into painting.
I
right?
mean, sometimes it's there. It can be a healthy thing, right?
Yeah. I cranked through that, I think, probably in about a day. It's not very difficult. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe when we get to a little hobby corner area, I'll talk about how to do that pretty quickly.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
yeah, it was a fun
So I know
model.
what I dodged. But okay, first thing we got to do, let's stop by and check out the news, Dan. What is good?
well, like we reported last week, they're calling it the Star Wars Vintage Collection hit Disney Plus.
I'm very sad they used the word vintage because I remember clearly all of these things. And then, did I mention I'm old?
But I expect each and every one of our listeners to have already watched Caravan of Courage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
by the way, bone to pick with you, Matt.
Yeah, please.
Going through and listening to some of the recent episodes,
Uh-huh.
how are you going to trash on Caravan of Courage and Ewok Adventures?
Like this. It sucked. I mean, seriously, as a child who was obviously the target demographic during that time in the mid 80s, I watched them. I watched them a lot. I didn't understand that what I was watching was bad because it was Star Wars, right? There's Ewoks. You're supposed to like it. And yet, it's only through the fullness of time do I realize those were pretty bad.
Let me go ahead and flip the tables on this.
Okay, please.
Who ruined your childhood, Matt?
Oh, man. Yeah. How much time you got?
For as many times as you've told me that, like, I have a ruined childhood because I don't appreciate certain
Your
cartoons.
parents are absolutely lovely.
Well, no, I mean they are, but like, but like the number of cartoons like that I don't appreciate. Which you're like, I don't get it. Why don't you love this? Like, Caravan of Courage is just it's so endearing.
Okay. So just to see what a kind of crazy hermit John has become, I'm excited for the Tartakovsky, Clone Wars, the first animated before the Filoni
Computer generated one.
Yeah, the 3D one came out because I love those. They're really good. It's from the guy that did Samurai Jack. Some of the greatest Star Wars stories out there. John doesn't like it because the animation style is what?
It's just ugly. It's just hideous.
It's ugly. It's hideous. What kind of millennial doesn't love Samurai
Well, and
Jack?
the funny thing is, I didn't actually know that was the same guy that did Samurai Jack. Seeing it, I was just like, oh god, it looks like an uglier version of Samurai Jack. Not knowing it was the guy that did
biggest
Samurai
animated shows in the world back in the mid 2000s, and they got him to go do Star Wars stuff with a truly scary General Grievous.
Yes.
And also, hey, I was actually watching again. It may not have been an ostrich Yoda was on.
No, it
watched
wasn't
the
an
first one.
ostrich.
It was like a tauntaun.
It was
thing.
a tauntaun variant, but it
Oh,
had
man.
goggles.
Jack.
I mean, that's totally sweet.
It takes at least two guys to ride an ostrich.
What, is it a sick
So-
ostrich?
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're speaking from experience.
But
Oh,
I strongly urge you to go give it a second shot. Once you watch it for enough, the animation will matter less and what they're doing. Oh, also the
yeah.
clone troopers, the ARC troopers in
Yes,
there. Oh
and
man,
the whole sequence
Bananas.
with the abduction of Palpatine.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
that was just.
All right,
amazing.
I'll give
Anyway,
another shot.
Ithorian Jedis.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyways,
But to more modern media.
yeah. To sum up, Caravan Carriage still, a priceless gem of a childhood thing. But
Yes,
I
but
hope you had
in-
fun watching it, Dan.
in Battle for Endor, the sequel, of course, they just that's spoilers. I was about to say
Spoilers.
Yes.
30 years later.
like
It's
they start
vintage, Dan.
the sequel off just by killing the whole family.
Yeah, it was. That's why I said in the last episode, it's like, was it even really continuation? Because they're just like, let's kill off most of the characters in the first 2 minutes. The whole point of the last movie to save everybody, and then they're just like, never mind.
They couldn't get the actors back. Okay.
Apparently, they could just to
They
kill
moved-
them off.
They moved on bigger, better things.
But the Wilford Brimley in Star Wars is the best cameo.
I forgot about that.
Oh my.
Anyway, back to modern media.
Let's leave the caravan of couldn't behind.
So the Obi-Wan series had its cast list announced.
I
Have you looked at it?
I don't want to look.
Okay.
I don't want to look.
Well, the
Yeah.
relatively good thing.
I wanna
at
be
least I like to
surprised.
say, it's mostly unknowns,
Good.
which
okay.
is good. I mean, which is a kind of a trend with Star Wars productions, is they
Right.
take mostly unknowns.
They want
and
to
put that in
get
there.
some fresh faces. I
Yeah.
mean, George Lucas started
The
that,
only
so.
real alums that most people probably recognize is there are a few Game of Thrones alums.
Oh,
that were added in
that
there.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
so, but yeah.
I heard Ewan McGregor might be involved in the project.
And
too.
Hayden Christensen.
That's right. I did hear
Yes.
that. Yeah, so I'm actually excited to see that.
But outside of that, those are the only really known to Star Wars names in there.
I'm interested to see Kunal Nanjiani. I probably just butchered his name, but he's more of a comedic actor.
Oh, yeah?
He was in the Daily Show for quite a while. He's one of the guys who did one of the reporters.
Oh,
But he
okay.
had,
The correspondent. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a movie that came out about a year or two ago called The Big Sick, where
Didn't see it.
really good movie. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's like a comedic movie about a real life story about his wife who developed, I think, breast cancer.
Yeah, a
Which,
real
I mean,
good
does not
time.
sound
yeah,
funny.
Yeah,
No, but I
that's-
mean-
yeah, sounds like a hoot.
I mean, spoiler alert, she lives, so it's, I mean,
Okay,
you
yeah.
can still have it be somewhat.
I know you like dark comedy very well, John.
No,
Come on.
not like
Okay.
that, man.
Okay.
No, it's a great movie, but anyway, I'm interested to see a comedic actor kind of take a turn and work for Bill Burr, right? So
Yeah.
why not?
I mean, fair enough. Yeah.
So yeah, production on that is going to start this month in April. So hopefully that'll be out.
Unrelated, Witcher season 2 filming just wrapped. So,
Oh, nice.
I mean, it's not Star Wars, it's still cool.
Yeah. And speaking of animated stuff, the new Bad Batch trailer. Have you seen that?
That looks good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I've not quite come 180 like I did on Bill Burr, but maybe a 90-degree shift. The first appearance of Bad Batch, I was like, oh, okay, it's Dirty Dozen ripoff, a bunch of Mary Sue stuff going on, but it's looking really good. Looking really good.
Any notable names besides Fennec was in it, right?
Fennec, they did have a cameo from Saw Gerrera
Oh, cool.
in there too.
Yeah,
And they showed off this new clone child, which is
see the child.
Would you like to see the
That's
child?
it's just going to be the new thing that they do in every series. There's going to be a cute little baby in there.
But that series will be releasing on May the 4th.
Oh boy!
I mean, which was expected. So
Yeah.
they're
And
gonna
also
have
with
there.
you.
Yes. And then final thing I have here is Sebastian Shaw had an interview with Good Morning America about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And of course, someone had to ask him about the Luke fan casting.
Man, I can't believe what legs that. It's been around for a couple of years now, but it seems like it just keeps gaining momentum. And it's a Photoshop, guys. It's a Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's not an actual side by side. I think he could pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not like, oh, this is obviously Mark Hamill as a young man. How old is Sebastian Shaw now, anyways?
Oh, God.
He's probably in his 40s.
Well, yeah. He can't pull off like young, like Tatooine
No.
Luke.
No, but
post Return
yeah.
of the Jedi Luke, possibly.
Yeah, if he showed up in the Book of Boba or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're gonna do like a time, sometime after Return of the Jedi, but pre Episode 7, I mean, there's a good gap you could probably use him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he was so inclined.
Yeah,
Is he?
but he kind of shut that down. He said, quote, if Mark Hamill calls me personally to tell me that he feels inclined to share his role, then I'll believe that this fan casting thing is true. So, I mean, it's not the
that's
usual either I've never heard of that or I can't speak about it thing that when people are actually in a role and they have an NDA.
I'm sure
they
people
use
have
to
been
connovate
tweeting it at him
Yeah.
for years at this point. But
So-
and he's got a really good thing going on in Winter Soldier and Falcon Winter Soldier, whichever one. It's good.
And
It's a
when
good show. I'm
yeah,
enjoying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and when the full Marvel movies kick back up again, I'm sure they'll pull him back into some cameos in there. But
Man, I'm so looking forward to the new Doctor Strange.
oh yes,
I actually hadn't seen Doctor Strange outside of the theater since it was first, and we watched it the other night. Man, what a good movie! It was good. I liked it.
It's different. It's a significantly
Yeah.
different kind of movie than the rest.
I think I was just in a bad mood that day, so I wasn't really feeling it. But I kind of want to see that in the theater again because of all those visual gewgaws going on.
yes.
I can't confirm or deny, but it might be a cool movie on my altering
what do you-
substances.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you didn't name any particular.
No.
The Legion
people should
Outriders
rush out by.
podcast does not condone the usage of.
Well, we kind of do, but still.
well, whatever gets you through your painting queue, man.
yeah. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Get some real abstract stuff going on there.
Hey, it's creativity, man.
But, okay. Do we have any Legion news?
I mean, we got, well, speaking of my table, 300 days, even to LVO 2022.
Sweet.
So,
do you
God,
actually take into account the time it takes me to edit and actually publish this out?
No, I do as of day of recording. So I'm
As
sure
of the recording.
the
okay.
smart.
So it's actually going to be like
Yes.
299, maybe
No more than
298.
300 days.
Yeah, okay. To a maximum.
So yes, our sharp-eared listeners could probably do the math backwards and figure out the days we record, but that's not like that's important at all. But
Until COVID 20 comes along.
oh god.
Let's not even think about that. But anyways.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so here it is. John, you're the painting guy. Well, Dan's a painting guy too. And I mean, you are.
I slap colors on little figures.
You
and
got little
color
blotchy
painting.
things going on.
You're a
Yeah.
very good
Came-
painter, and
He
you
is.
I think
He's meticulous.
spend more time doing more meticulous details and stuff than I do.
Yeah.
I think I have like
I don't think the end result shows that, but okay.
you don't give yourself enough credit. I love your urban
Yeah.
camo paint schemes
Absolutely.
and stuff, and all of my Rebel Troopers I didn't bother to put a camo pattern on any of them. So no,
But John is just one of those naturally gifted people that wakes up eating sunshine and crapping excellence all over the place on his painting.
don't ask me
bench.
what my GI system looks like.
Oh, it's not good. It's actually, it's very terrible. We got a fundraiser going to get John through his sunlight eating.
So I guess it's been about a year since I've been on here with you guys, and since the last time I played a game of Legion, last time I played was LVO 2019 or 2020 because it was the right before COVID. So last time I played, and then I had a little bit of Star Wars burnout, so took a break from Legion, and
Had to go get re-energized with the caravan.
I mean, full disclosure, I went through like a crazy span of games in the last year. I think it was like Malifaux and Marvel Crisis Protocol.
I think we counted
Age of
down
Sigmar.
the other day. We were talking about your painting queue, and I was like, "Yeah, you're doing Age of Sigmar, 40K,
Marvel Crisis
Marvel
Protocol,
Crisis.
Malifaux. Like it was.
There's probably some other. Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
Lord of the Rings,
You
yep.
got into that a little bit, or at least painted some stuff.
Yep.
They're beautiful models, though.
They really are. Yeah, I enjoy them. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like in the little sojourn that I went on, I can honestly say that like painting Legion models is probably my favorite.
The new ones have been really,
new sculpts
really
are
good.
really good.
Yeah, the hard plastics that are. I mean, gone are the days of Moosh Face Han.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Who's
Can we get-
scruffy looking?
Yo, he's scruffy looking. He's real scruffy
bad,
by
yeah, pretty
today's
bad.
standards.
Oh yeah. No, that's
So what have you recently gotten on the desk?
So I finally decided to paint up my Op Luke set because I bought that right before I got out of the game, so never actually put it together. Painted it. The priority supplies stuff, the crashed landing pad with
Oh, wow.
R2D2 and C3PO. Let's see. I picked up the Mandalorians, picked up K2SO, Cassian.
So you're going to show up to play next weekend, right?
Yeah, it looks like that way if I can get out of work
Oh, boy.
early enough.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm going to be super rusty at the game.
Yeah, it
For
don't
sure.
matter. Everybody's
But,
rusty at the game right now.
yeah. And
Well, some people.
lately it's been about a 50-50 mix of completely new players
It's good.
and
It's
players.
good.
So yeah.
Glad to hear that the community's still thriving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really heartening to see that. But yes, we could definitely warm you back up again.
But let's be real. The thing that drew me in was the new Wookiees.
The new, so much Wookiee stuff coming. The Battle of Kashyyyk on the horizon. Holy cow!
I saw the previews for that. And Lando, too. Lando's a big one. I mean, if you go way back in our podcast catalog to the earlier episodes, I was like, yeah, Lando and Lobot. Like, give me those two. So we got halfway there. But yeah, I mean, the Lando model is great.
Yeah.
And, that was the first one that really brought me back in. But then seeing the Wookiees down the road.
Yeah, if you're fine with it, I think we'll put up some pictures of some of the
Absolutely,
stuff you
yeah.
painted on the Facebook page, so
And if
you
you're
can
on
check out what we're talking about.
Yeah, and if you're on Instagram, my
there you go. Yeah,
my
yeah.
handle is still Outrider John. And,
We're gonna have legal have to contact you.
well, until you bring another person on named John, it stays.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
And then I also I've been hashtagging Legion Outriders
Oh,
on everything.
Wow.
So I don't
Look at
know.
that.
I'm probably the only person who's ever hashtagged that, but
yeah. No, I probably
Yeah,
misspelled it
yeah.
the time I tried. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, they're all on there. If you look them up, I mean they're not they're not Sergio Calvo or Anil Heraldez or Duncan Rhodes, but
Are those DJs?
they might as well be, right?
Dude, no, it's really good stuff. And you said you did Lando. How much time did you spend lavishing attention on his capes? And
Quite
are
a bit
they
of-
interchangeable?
So so they are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So he comes with two capes, and he's got like two different poses. He's got the gun pointing and gun being drawn.
Mm-hmm.
The inner cape looks pretty cool. It's got kind of like the General Grievous like fur lining on the inside. I went with the just fabric one.
Okay.
Just because because the actual the two different capes, one of them doesn't work with the gun out pose. So I went with the gun out drawn pose, and then I had to go with the fabric cape.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit of annoyance online of people trying to build using one cape or the other
Oh yeah.
that they weren't quite cross compatible.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean, but on the instructions, which are clearly laid out, it's saying here you have to use this cape if you're going to use this pose. So
Oh, okay. But still, it's a little bit too bad. I guess they give they hang differently depending on the pose and all that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, like honestly, like you were saying, compared to the days of Han Solo
Oh,
and
man.
Leia, I mean
Yeah.
these new poses they're dynamic. They have a lot of motion. I mean the hard plastic is great. I mean it's just so much easier
Awesome.
to work with, better detail. You don't have like just the recessed area for the eyes. There's actually eyes sculpted into the mini, so you're not having to just like, well, here's this blank empty cavity.
Man, I can't wait for you to go and paint my mall.
You find another mall and I'll paint it for you. Okay?
Oh, you sure you don't want to part with the one downstairs?
Oh, absolutely not. No, that stays in my possession. Because I looking at the new lists and stuff like that, and like the way, because I've been doing some tabletop admiraling over the last week.
Good.
You can fit Grievous, Dooku, and Maul in a list.
Oh my. I mean, yes, you could.
I mean, it doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, six activation. Ready
Nope,
to
you
go.
can actually get 9 activations out of it.
Wow.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. You can get 10 activations out of it. You can do the 3 of them.
Yeah.
6
Are they just
bare bones
naked,
B1.
naked Sith?
No, you can still throw a couple of upgrades on them.
Okay.
And then if you take Darth Maul's Pro Droid detachment with it, it's 10 activations.
Yeah, the community name for that list is quote unquote 7 sabers.
Oh, so I'm sure I'm not the first person.
Yeah,
you're not thinking of that one.
But that was immediately the first thing. I'm like, how many lightsabers can I pack into this list?
It's funny. It's the list that has the most lightsabers in it in droids.
I wonder how much punch you'd lose from having to like build a command hand around 3 Jedis that want their or Sith that want their special powers going off.
Yeah, I mean, especially since Dooku's got some great ones, but then Maul has 2 of them that are almost like auto include. I mean, you got that 3 pip card that counts as a 1 pip card.
Yeah,
I mean that's
and then you're just hanging B1s behind you as your B-boy backup dancers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just
okay,
go sit on objectives.
Yeah, get blown up on objectives.
Be a meat wall objective, basically.
Again,
Roger.
Not competitive. It's not gonna be around for a long time, but a good time.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna have to use that for most of my lists now.
Yeah.
Because my win rate has not been that. So.
Are you still doing the 3-4 shore?
Well, I'm modifying it to try and wedge Callus in there and see because
the 3-4 chops.
3-4 yeah. Right now the tentative name is just agents. Since it's
okay.
ISB agent, Inferno agents. There were some.
Are you actually doing Inferno?
No, just still doing generic ISFs.
Just ISFs. Okay.
Wait, so you're not running Iden Versio?
I am running Iden.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a girl, right?
Not the name.
It's agents.
Agents.
Gotcha,
yes.
Gotcha.
But yeah, still fleshing that one out, and I'll take whatever version I settle on next weekend, and we'll see how it goes.
Right on. Yeah. I gotta sit down and build a little bit of list.
I mean, needless to say, I'm already looking on how many Wookiees I can fit in this list now that they're actually somewhat competitive, supposedly.
I mean, all signs point to rocking and rolling, so I'm excited for that because I know you love Wookiees, and I love that you love Wookiees. Dan, how do you feel about the Wookiees?
They're hairy.
Okay. Well, thank you for not making an Imperial prison joke about them.
They build good Death Stars? I don't know.
Very sad. Very sad.
There's one shout out I got to give. I was looking through some of the Imperial, the Invader League lists going on this season. And there was one dude running his name was Habmo, running a list called All In on Wookiees. And this list is exactly what I want to run. It's Op Luke, Lando, R2-D2, 2 fleets, 2 regular troopers, and triple Wookiees.
There you go.
I'm like,
that's
man,
gross.
That's like, I don't know if it's, I mean, obviously it's good. He made it a single elimination.
Push it all forward. Here we go.
Yeah, he went 5-0, I guess, in the elimination round or whatever. But I mean, I guarantee he probably pilots it better than I'm going to, but I'm gonna try it.
I mean, hey, get going. Hopefully, he cannot be stabbed. Any other painting projects of late?
So I mean, just the AT8 or the AAT that I painted for you.
Oh yeah. So it looks like you airbrushed.
Yeah. So super easy to do, and honestly, you can do it without an airbrush. Skeleton bone army painter rattle can primer. That's what I use to do the base coat.
Yeah, give it kind of a warm off-white.
Yeah. Honestly, it gives that perfect color if you're looking at doing a whole bunch of B1 droids, you don't want to do the whole contrast paint thing. That skeleton bone primer is perfect. But I use that, and then I've been doing a couple things where I'm messing around with oil paints. And for those of you guys who aren't art knowledgeable, most of the paints you get from Citadel, Vallejo, they're all acrylic paints. Acrylic paints are water soluble, water based, so you're using water to thin them down. Non-toxic too.
In case you accidentally drink your paint rinse cup.
I mean, who hasn't accidentally put paint in their coffee mug
or do the paintbrush?
Lick your brush.
Yeah, exactly. Get the tip.
No, that's why I use clear plastic cups for my rinse, so I can see what.
But no,
what you're drinking.
What I'm drinking. Yeah. Basically.
So yeah, while acrylic paints are water-based, oil paints are oil-based.
Uh-huh.
So to thin them down, you wouldn't use water. You'd actually use mineral spirits, which is kind of like paint thinner.
Okay, what does that taste like?
Don't drink it.
Okay,
Also,
okay.
don't smoke anywhere around it. You're gonna blow your house
okay,
up.
so this is don't try this at home unless
No,
you
yeah.
well-ventilated area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely use that. If you're going to use it through your airbrush at all, make sure you wear a mask. We all have masks now, so it's not a problem anymore.
I wonder if that's rated for that.
Not your cloth ones. Now you
Yeah,
want to get it.
yeah,
You want to
probably
get
not.
some actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
respirators.
stuff that you have at like Home Depot.
Sure.
provided
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
whatever.
You would think for
Yeah.
Provided you can find it, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so get some oil-based. This burnt sienna is what I like to use, and you can get it from Michael's, Hobby Lobby, whatever, wherever you get your standard oil paints, art supply stores.
Mm-hmm.
You mix it with a little bit of paint thinner, and you can use that as a panel liner. It works really, really well.
So why the oil? Is there something different in the viscosity?
Yeah, so
okay.
it's more water repellent, or it's more has less surface tension. So basically, you touch it, you like dab it into
And it just
those
runs.
cracks, and it just runs.
Yeah.
Especially when you mix it with about a 50-50 mix, or even maybe like a 3-to-1 mix with the mineral spirits.
Okay.
Works really well. Get that the lining, and then you can use the oil paint for weathering. And like you see on the edges of the AAT, I use that to kind of just like weather a little bit, and then before it dries, because oil paints take a long time to dry, you can kind of just take like a Q-tip or your finger even, and just kind of smudge it, and it works really well to just kind of get that dirty, weathered appearance, without having to go buy like typhus corrosion or using any of the kind of like the Citadel technical paints. Yeah. Really easy to use, can give a really nice subtle appearance of weathering without having to go like super into dry brushing or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, with few exceptions, that's kind of like one of the major artistic points of the Star Wars universe. It all looks lived in and used and all that, unless it's like just rolling off the production line like a bunch of Phase 1 troopers. But
and you can do that with blacks too. I chose to use the burnt sienna, which is like a darker reddish brown.
Yeah.
But you can use the blacks if you're doing grays or other colors that aren't
depending on your
the warm
palette.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Well, there you go. There's your hobby tip for the day. Dan, what do you think?
I don't think I'm there quite to the point of oil paints, but
Yeah.
we'll put that back in the knowledge bank for
I'm
future.
just toying with the idea of busting my airbrush out again. Actually, I want to have you take a look at the kit because it's been sitting on the shelf for like 8 years. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta get a compressor, first.
Yeah,
but-
apparently I need to go get an air compressor. Where's Harbor Freight? And use that for 15 minutes before it breaks down.
But yeah, if you're intimidated by what I was just explaining about oil paints, there's YouTube videos. I mean, there's a lot of
There's always a
really,
YouTube video,
I mean, there's some
yeah.
really good YouTube videos. Some of the guys I've been watching lately, this guy named Artist Opus, who does amazing dry brush stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ever since
Wait,
watching his
amazing dry brush stuff. That's always struck me as kind of a beginning technique.
Right, you think so, right? Cause it ends up kind of looking streaky. The guy painted his AAT video is unbelievable because he does no airbrushing. He does everything with stippling and dry brushing using makeup brushes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh.
Go to Target, pick up a $5 pack of makeup brushes. I've been using those instead of dry brushes.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, some of those dry brushes can get kind of nasty.
Yeah.
So
And like you don't see the texture, like the little lines that you get from using standard dry brushing.
is it just because of the fine hairs or the way they're?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And, like in stippling too, that's a technique he talks about using on flat surfaces.
It's stabbing things with a paintbrush.
Basically.
There were some recent AMG streams where they did a A-A5 speeder truck by stippling.
Oh yeah.
And it
Oh
looked
yeah.
really
you
good.
think,
Yeah.
Oh man.
The texture on that looked really good.
Still waiting to see those pictures of the sweet wizard riding the unicorn on the side of the
Yes.
A5. So.
That's, man, you know what? Those are going to be some fun models to
I
paint.
think so.
I'm looking forward to seeing some of the designs. I'm probably going to go just straight Canon on it, but do like a Scooby-Doo mystery machine might be kind of fun.
Canon on that. If anything, the Canon is so boring.
All my stuff.
It looks good, but it's boring. Come on, man. You can do better. I
What?
challenge you to do better.
All right.
You are a guy who loves reference photos.
I do,
know
that's
this
true,
about
yeah.
you.
So if you want me to paint like an AA5 with like the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo,
I mean,
or
clearly I do
18
now.
van.
yeah, the 18 band, something like that,
Cool.
I will do it. I will try doing it. But for
Well-
my own personal one that I'm going to use stuff full of Wookiees, it's going to be relatively canon.
Aw, man. No, for the Wookiees, you need to do the Dumb and Dumber.
my
The grooming
God.
truck. Come on. Come on.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Did they make like a tan static grass? Get that fuzzy feel to
You've
it?
used that kind of stuff before, didn't you? Because you had a fur effect on. Oh, I'm trying to remember. There was something you did and you used like a fur. Or was that Jeff that did that?
I don't remember doing something like that. No.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was Jeff. I'm gonna have to reach out to him because he used like. I want to say he did the hair on a model with like some like blonde static grass, and it looked pretty decent.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. You could do that,
Yeah,
or you could do even the green stuff if I wanted to just like coat the entire.
Oh yeah,
thing with
yeah.
green
I
stuff
mean,
and just,
oh
like,
man, that sounds like it'd be a chore. You need to have the right kind of tool to sculpt it in there.
Like I'm moderate hobby John. Okay, I'm not turbo hobby John.
Okay, well, we gotta feed you some coffee or something, get you hopped up.
Hey, if it were me, I'd just buy a bunch of little pom-pom cotton balls and glue them on there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But anyways, I think a lot of things to think about there for the hobby inclined. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back to talk about some of the cards that got leaked for.
Yeah,
well,
so speaking of the A5, we'll get
Yeah.
more into that.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders, to the second half of this show. Well, is it going to be half? I don't know. We've got some cards to talk about here. A lot of upgrade cards that got spoiled, a little over a week ago now?
Yeah, it was like a couple days after we last recorded.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of stuff to talk about.
We did. We had a lot of
time.
stuff that time. So, but I mean, it's the usual podcast curse, right? After you record is when new information comes out. So
Glad to see AMG is still doing that. Picking up from where FFG left off.
Yeah, maintaining the standards. But there is some really interesting stuff, and not just for the AA5, because I think we're going to see a lot of cross-pollination with other models that can use these some of these upgrades. Where do we want to start, Dan?
well, I mean, might as well start with the A5. We were just talking about it.
Yeah,
So
the soon-to-be mystery machine.
yeah.
The Wookiee Mobile is what I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, okay.
So yeah, the articles are still being posted on FFG's site, so they haven't quite made the full transition over to AMG yet. But they did post the articles about the AA5 speeder truck and the LAAT latte.
Keep going.
Yeah. And they showed some of the cards that weren't shown in the mini extravaganza. So they kind of rounded out what is going to be in that kit. So they showed one of the other hard points, and I think this was everyone's most anticipated hard point for the A5.
Mm-hmm.
Is just pop a quad laser on the top of that bad boy.
Yeah, no kidding. Because we did get the German version of it kind of spoiled a ways back. Well, the name of it anyway.
The name of it and the build sheet. So we saw there was a model for the quad laser cannon available to build, and everyone's like, ooh.
Wow. Well, now we know what it does.
Yeah, this thing is pretty crazy. 6 black dice, range 1 to 3.
That's a lot of black dice.
Yeah, impact 2. So if you do want it to actually roll up and blast some armor, this is the upgrade you do on it. Now, 36 points does increase the cost on it a bit, but
and I think that's the thing I've heard the most. What do you think? 36 points?
Well, it's 75 points base, so you're moving it up to about 110 points.
Yeah, 111 something. Yeah.
I mean, if you're using it as strictly a cheap transport option,
This is definitely not.
that's
This
not what you
becomes
wanna
a
do.
weapons platform.
But I feel like it's at least more, it has more cohesion with using it up close as opposed to like the heavy laser retrofit, because that feels like more like you want to keep it back and provide fire support, which that kind of counterintuitive with it having a transport capacity.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking like how much more expensive would it be just to go for a rotary cannon ATRT or something to throw not quite as many dice, and definitely the impact is really nice, because that's one of the things that I think we were talking about previously is classically Rebels had issues getting impact. So now we've got impact 2 baked into this quad laser upgrade, which seems okay. I don't know the current state of the Rebels as well as I used to. Have they gotten more impact around since you've been listing there, John? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I don't know. I saw that the Ion Trooper went down quite a bit in points, but I don't think it's going to make it any more viable.
Yeah.
The airspeeder coming down, I think, is going to be more the source of impact. For
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
but this is in a competing spots because they're both heavies. So,
and I think that having that impact kind of makes up for the advantage an ATRT had with having the surge to crit.
Yeah,
because this doesn't surge at all.
Right.
So it's going to need those impacts at least.
Yeah, fair. It's at least a cool option that I think is available and would definitely bear some play testing to see how it performs.
I think if I were running 2 in a list, 2 units of Wookiees kitted up for melee, and then running 2 of those, I would run them bare bones.
Yeah.
If I was running 1, say with Operative Luke to take advantage of good old Shriv, I'd probably run it with this gun on it.
Okay.
Though, of course, if you wanted to make this more of a gunship, the Hotshot Pilot.
Yeah, which is the next card.
Yeah, which can go on any repulsor vehicle, though. So could be interesting on an airspeeder.
Yeah, Hotshot Pilot, Rebel only, repulsor vehicle only. You gain Sharpshooter 1, and it's 8 points. That seems pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah. So versus things in cover versus other area vehicles like the latte.
You know, I realized that I was thinking this entire time the LAAT was had a compulsory move on it.
No,
it's not.
It's
no.
not.
I was completely. Somebody corrected me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right." I don't know why I
is a
decided
Black
to go
Hawk
down that
helicopter,
one.
basically.
Yeah, no, it really is. It'll probably crash.
No,
but with the 8 points, aren't most of the other pilots relatively cheap though? Didn't Wedge go down in price?
Well, Wedge went down because he wasn't released.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, there were a few other pilots. What about the Wookiee pilot?
The outer rim
speeder jockey?
Yeah.
Oh god, what was his points? I'm totally blanking on that right now.
It doesn't matter because that's what you take every time.
But
you get heavy cover, yes please.
If you don't want to put any weapons on it, the Reckless Driver.
Yeah. So this is an A-A5 speeder truck exclusive for 6 points. When you perform a compulsory move, you cannot reverse. The first time you cannot reverse.
Yes.
The first time during your activation that you displace an enemy unit, roll 1 white defense die for each mini in the unit. That unit suffers 1 wound for each block result.
Oh man. So this actually sounds like what I want to run for my Wookiees.
Just drive into.
I mean, you don't drive in reverse. Let's be real here.
No.
You drive straight ahead and you try to run over as many people as you can, and the Wookiees jump out.
And that's this is why I don't ride with John anywhere.
What's funny is with all these upgrades, I remember when it was first announced, the A-A5, everyone was just poo-pooing it, like, why do we need this?
Yeah.
This faction didn't, this didn't fill any roles. And now that all these things are out, I've seen so many people so excited.
Yeah. I mean, gotta...
I'm buying 2.
The hot takes. Yeah. The hot takes can sometimes be a little crazy, but...
I'm just waiting for someone to, Mad Max Gaslands up one of their A5s with cow catchers and spikes and everything and just run these guys.
Well, it's got a really big base.
Right? Yeah, it's the long pill-shaped base like the Gav tank.
So even though it's only movement 1, it's still a really big base.
So it's kind of just flopping on out there.
Yeah.
Moving your maple log down the table.
So you're doing the compulsory move, then the first time during your activation that you displace an enemy unit, roll 1. So this could be on the compulsory move as well, right?
Yes.
That does this. Oh, man.
Yeah. And
now,
it's not a unique... There's
unique,
lots of reckless drivers in the Rebellion.
Now, to clarify one point, though, it says here the first time you displace an enemy unit. So this will only hit 1 unit.
Yeah. They don't.
So if you drive into a mass of B1s, you'll just hit the first unit.
Plowing into a crowd of nuns over there.
But I mean, the base is long. You could sit there and pivot the thing and just swing around and just hit.
No, that's legit. Yeah, you totally could.
Doing donuts out in the middle of the table.
So the rules for disembarking from a vehicle is after the first move, if they only performs 1 move action, they can disembark and still use their full action, correct?
Well, yeah. So if it's a closed vehicle.
Yes.
If the transporting vehicle only did 1 action, or 1 move, I should say, then the unit embarked can use 1 action to disembark and still has their second action.
Okay. Now, if the first thing is a compulsory move, that doesn't count towards that, correct?
Ooh.
So you could do the compulsory move and then do a move action and then that unit could still disembark and perform actions, correct?
I want to reread it all and double check.
Yeah.
But at a first glance, I believe yes.
I mean,
Okay.
that makes first turn charges pretty viable.
Yes.
Man, my gears are turning right now.
Yeah, I see. The fires.
Now, of course, there's always the risk of getting that vehicle out in front. As we'll remember way back 2018, the very first game of Legion, you and I played.
Oh, yep.
Sorry to bring up that memory,
Oh,
but
no, it's good. Lessons were learned.
Yes, where you put that snow speeder out there, and my DLTs just lit the heck out of it.
I mean, that was the
was the
time of it. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's where I learned,
That's
this isn't 40K. These are alternating actions. I need to make sure that I don't throw something right out there to get shot at right
And
away.
you were one of the first ones to start realizing the importance of the last firsting and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, well, of our group, I'm sure
Of
there
our
were.
group. Oh yeah. I mean, in our local meta, yeah. Holding back Luke, and then all of a sudden Luke and Luke. Yeah.
Yep. So Reckless Driver's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. And there was one comm unit or comm upgrade that was announced that I think will be pretty much stapled to anything transporting.
Oh man, yeah. This is
The onboard's comm channel. During the issue order step of the command phase, after you are issuing ordered, you can issue an order to unit you're transporting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just pretty much
Huge.
a huge thing. I mean, it's going to be automatically stapled to Gavs with E-Webs on board.
I don't know, man. 3 points.
And I mean, people are already spending 5 points for the link targeting array in there, so
man.
they might as well.
Yeah. No, this is fantastic.
Yeah. So we'll get a lot better order control out of that. So I think that's pretty much a staple.
These are the first time we're seeing these cards, correct?
Yes, we're in these articles.
So pretty much, if you weren't planning on buying one of these already because you didn't like the van or whatever, you might as well buy it so you can get this card.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
if you're running anything that's got a transport capability, this seems like something.
Yeah,
you
hopefully
wanna
this
do.
will get proliferated out into other kits too, so you don't have to go purchase expensive cross-faction models. But Dan, I know
Yes.
you've got complicated feelings.
Well,
about this
yeah,
next
there
one.
is basically assault block
Mhm.
in the Imperial chat and Discord.
yeah,
and
just
whatnot.
all sorts of
about the LAAT. I'm not sure how it is going over in Garland. We might have to ask Jeff on how the Republic is viewing this. But yeah, there's just a general consensus that Imperials maybe didn't get the best upgrades on this for the LAAT. I mean, there's some places for it, but the article for the LAAT LE didn't have any actual new cards in it. It was everything already spoiled in the mini extravaganza. But on Facebook, a few cards kind of dropped on there. 2 of the generic pilots, both for Imperial and Gar.
Was this an LJ supply drop?
No, it was oh god, I forgot the gentleman who dropped it. But yeah, they just kind of came out of left field nowhere. Everyone's like, oh, interesting. But for the Imperial side of things, one more named pilot is Baron Rudor, which everyone remembers him from Rebels, if you watched Rebels. Repulsor vehicle only, so he can only go in the Latly. Will you gain Marksman, and after you recover, gain an aim. So the kind of...
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of skewing this towards you're putting shells.
Yeah,
on it
I think that's very
turn
clear.
into a gunship.
So, honestly, I think it sounds okay so far. So
Yeah,
you use 1 to recover,
recover,
and
shoot,
recycle,
recover, shoot, yeah.
and you're getting an aim automatically out of it. So
The problem with that, it discourages you from moving. It's you're just sitting there.
yeah, I think
And
you
you're
definitely
just-
need to pick your spot.
Yeah,
and,
because I mean, as we just mentioned a moment ago, you stick a flying vehicle out there, it's visible because there's no cover for it.
Mhm.
Everything's going to go. We need to shoot that.
12
So-
points is kind of expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean for that as well. Yeah, that. I mean, he's not bad, but he's not amazing in kind of general consensus on there.
Okay, well, yeah, that's
I mean, hopefully the next round of point adjustments will tweak a few of these things too.
yeah, we'll see. I don't
do
know.
that.
I think there might be some legs there, but then again, I'm not really playing Imperials. Dan.
And then the other pilot, the Imperial TIE pilot, and this one actually has some interesting things behind it.
Yeah.
So increase your maximum speed by 1.
8 points.
8 points. So you have a LAAT LE that can go speed 3 and strafe and reverse speed 2.
To be clear, this is
wow.
repulsor vehicle only.
Yeah,
so,
this is repulsor vehicle.
no
only too,
tanks apply.
So no
Yeah.
no zoom tanks.
Yeah.
So at the moment, this is the only vehicle that it can be used for.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you really want to hot drop Vader and get him up there that quick,
And that's kind of what, we were talking about in the Discord was I want to zoom that TIE pilot up there with Vader and just drop him on people.
There's some merit to straight, flanking with it, going around the side, taking out your opponent's back cappers.
Yeah, if you got to move, moving fast is a great way
clearing
to
a
go.
back objective point. Because you usually, you throw 1 or maybe 2 squads of either a sniper or a basic trooper squad in the back. Just fly back there, blast them just to clear that back.
Yeah, it's a very different approach from Baron Rudor. He wants to kind of stay still and refresh and just launch missiles, all the missiles. And then this one's you're being sneaky, getting around, moving real fast to get to different places on the board.
Again, you risk overextending the vehicle and putting it as the only viable target for your opponent's entire army and getting it blasted out of the sky. So,
get good.
Get good.
I mean, clearly I have not, but still. I know there's people that can handle that kind of, manipulation of a model.
Minutiae, yes. Yeah. But, we'll get it on the table. We'll try it. I actually haven't heard of, since, these weren't vehicles available for Invader League, no one's really trying them in a harder competitive sense yet. So we'll have to see what some test cycles do.
Yeah, that could be real fun. But next one we've got is Turner and Hooch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Hound and Grizzler. But this is for the Republic, LAAT only, patrol transport only. You gain Observe 4, 8 points.
Which is, Observe 4, is the equivalent of 2 aim tokens. So for 1 action, you're getting the equivalent of 2 actions. That's some pretty good action efficiency on this guy.
That's...
No, Observe 4, or Observe is the keyword that was introduced in Maul's set, right?
Correct.
With the probe droids, okay.
And that's one where you put tokens on the target, and then anyone shooting at that target can then utilize the tokens.
Oh, okay, cool.
I kind of like the idea of using him as a spotter or, Grizzler hanging out. Wait, which one's Grizzler? Which one's Hound? I'm going to guess Hound is the guy and Grizzler's the lizard thing.
I can't tell by the photocopy. Is it a lizard or is it, what is it exactly?
That's a lizard dog thing.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Hanging out the window of the LAAT, and just like barking at things.
I'm sure we'll have the third-party 3D modelers working on that one.
Oh, dude,
soon.
that'd be cool. Yes. It's just strapped to the front of it. But yeah, I'd be willing to give that a go.
Yeah.
That's it's like that or Fox, right?
Yeah, so Fox, the field commander. If you're not using it, if you're already hot dropping Yoda, you've got your commanders.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then last but not least, or maybe least, Clone Shock Trooper Pilot, Republic only. After a unit you are transporting disembarks. Oh wow, that's really.
It gains a surge and either an aim or a dodge.
Yeah, for 4 points.
Yeah,
that's not bad. That's a cheap upgrade.
Yeah, if you're definitely deploying people from here, you're just adding tokens because clones can share them to your army. So, yeah, you're adding action efficiency, you're adding free tokens, whereas the Imperial side of things, you're just moving faster or can repeatedly shoot slightly better. I don't know. That's the Imperial Salt is here.
Yeah. And suck on that Galactic Empire.
It sounds like a better version of Commander Fox, because Commander Fox, you're getting the surge token, and then you can remove a suppression. This one allows you to get a surge and an aim or dodge, and he's cheaper, significantly cheaper. Granted, he's not field commander.
Yeah, so if you want to use field commander, then Fox is decent. But if you already have a commander...
Yeah,
this guy's going to be adding a lot more tokens.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Okay. I retract my previous lease statement. That's actually really compelling.
Yeah.
Only 4 points. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, but some real spicy upgrades there. What's your favorite, Dan?
The TIE Pilot does
Baron?
look fun.
Oh, okay.
TIE Pilot does look fun. I think zipping considering it's the bigger 120 millimeter base at speed 3, you can get so much distance out of that thing.
You think you're going to put an onboard comms channel for your Gav tank blaster E-Web setup?
No. Yes, on that one that is definitely an auto include.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a Gav E-Web combo, that given order to the Gav, you're given to the E-Web, you have perfect order control. Let's go.
Any of these going to be auto include for you, John?
Reckless Driver. Come on.
Reckless
Driver.
That's the thing is, Rebels got all these fun, wacky, and they haven't even shown all the crew options for the.
They
for
embrace
A-A5 either.
asymmetrical warfare.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a tactical list where I'm going to put Shriv in there, maybe use it with Op Luke, and then he can jump out, and he's already going to have light cover from suppression and the dodge token. Yeah, well, that's going to be smart, whatever. But the fun list is going to be the Reckless Driver. Two of them, Wookiees inside, cut it out for melee.
Pretty effective. And the fact that you can have the comms, so they're not just like jumping out and then just kind of milling around waiting for their turn. They can have the order control to be able to go and, perpetrate their will upon the enemy forces.
Are Tauntauns still good?
I mean,
Yeah.
They got tuned down a little bit. But
yeah, they got
still.
tuned down. They're not an auto 3 include,
Okay.
but ones or twos there can really screw up a flank.
Man, I'm thinking like...
What, are you just going to have the furry convention going on?
That was what my list was last time, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
Pack as many Wookiees and Tauntauns into the list as possible. I'm thinking
that was just literally a wall of fur.
I'm thinking like wall of fur supported by the party vans. So you got the 2 party wagons loaded with Wookiees looking to party.
Yeah.
Has some Tauntauns riding alongside them. Boom.
Just on in there.
Crashed into everything. Sounds like a lot of fun.
God, so do you play Convoy as your music in there?
Got your ears on there, Rubber Duck?
Yep.
Very nice. But John, thank you again for coming on the show. It's really been great. Always great to hang out with you. Dan, good job on stuff. Where can we find you online, Dan?
Well, either Outrider Dan or Dan Tech on the Discord.
That's right.
And I'm floating around, both Imperial chat, general. Unfortunately, the LVO chat got shut down because it has, we have 300 more days till LVO. So
that's BS. It should be perpetual.
It should be
always
perpetual
and forever.
Yeah, LJ, if you're listening,
shiny and chrome.
We need a perpetual LVO chat.
Yeah. And John, you said you're on Outrider?
Instagram, OnlyFans, whatever.
Really? I mean, I know.
No, I'm not on Discord anymore. Well, I mean, I might be still. I don't even know. I just don't even have the app right now.
Yeah, but definitely on the Insta, Outrider
John.
Okay, with an underscore in there. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at GRN_Archer or Captain_Archer on Twitch, playing a lot of Elite Dangerous. But before we sign off, I want to say, of course, thank you to all our Patreon supporters. They're allowing us to do what we do. We had the release of the cargo crates that have been pretty well received so far. We got some really great feedback. Don't forget, you can go to 6 Up Supply.
I thought it was 6 or more.
6.
Yeah, 6 or better. Yeah.
6 greater than.
Yeah. Over there to get your own copy if you don't have access to a 3D printer or you don't have the file because you're not a Patreon. If you would like to, Patreon/Legion Outriders. But also, we've already got plans for the next model to come out, which is going to be a variation of the Welcome to Las Vegas board, but it's all going to be Star Wars'd out. Jeff is working hard on this one. It's looking fantastic. Yeah, I'm very excited. And I think there's going to be an options to say, like, instead of Las Vegas, it'll be either Mos Eisley or Canto Bight. If you have a suggestion or what we could fill in there, and then we'll have a little spot for the Outriders on there as well.
Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah.
Nar Shaddaa. Isn't that like
Nar Shaddaa? Oh, that's a great one. The Nal Hutta or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Write that down. That's a good one.
Look at me breaking out the Star Wars lore knowledge.
I know.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Left field there.
You're very hot.
I need to go take a nap now.
Yeah. Spent. But thank you again, Outriders. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
And belated happy birthday, Matt.
Oh, well, thanks, bud. Yeah. Appreciate that. Take care, everybody.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.